What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Jalen here today with another video. In today's video, I will be showing you how to do something so simple, but a lot of people tend to look over it. I will be showing you how to change your spark plugs and your air filter on a 2009 to 2016 GSXR 1000. As far as changing the spark plugs, it kind of varies with bike to bike, but the air filter process is pretty much the same. So even if you don't have this bike, it might help you with something. With that being said, guys, let's get right into it. All right, just a quick rundown of some things you'll need. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. You need a 4 and a 5 Allen key. You'll need you some connector grease for your spark plugs. I would recommend getting you a magnet, like a magnet to get your spark plugs out. It is not necessary, but it does help. Moving on, you need you a socket set. Well, specifically, you need you a 5/8 socket. A deep socket. You want to get you a extension. I have a 3-inch, and I also have a 6-inch. I probably would not use the 6-inch because it might not fit like around with the frame. Also, you want to get you the correct spark plugs for this bike. Is the CR9 EIA-9. You will need 4 of those. Then you want to get you your air filter. I'm going with the K&N. You can go with like the base Suzuki model. They're a little bit thinner. Matter of fact, I have it over there compared to this one. When you go order this, just type in the bike you have. It will come up. For this bike, it is the SU 1009. All right, so I do not have my gas tank with me, but I am going to do a quick rundown on how to get your gas tank off or lift it up. So basically, you'll have 2 bolts right here. You want to screw those. Then as far as your fairings go, you're going to have a screw right here around this area. Then you're going to have another one on that same side, well, on the other side. Then you're going to have a few of these grommets and pins, and you just want to pry this piece away. Then you'll unscrew that one. Then the gas tank will lift up. Then if you want to remove your gas tank, all you do is disconnect the fuel line. It's pretty self-explanatory. All you do is remove this and clip this blue piece right here and pull that back. Then you'll unplug your fuel pump. Then you also want to loosen these hoses right here. You'll see the screw down here. You'll unscrew this one. Then you'll pull that out. Then your gas tank will be free. This is connected to that little black bracket at the back of the gas tank. And as far as the gas leaking out, the way this is set up, a lot of gas will not leak out, so you don't have to worry about none of that. Okay, moving on to the air box. So you have 10 screws that you're going to take off. It is just a simple Phillips head. You may have a screw right here. This is a used bike, so with that being said, some stuff is not going to be there. But it might be a screw right here. So if it is, before you take your air box off, you'll have to remove that. I'm not sure what it is, but it's most likely either a Phillips head or either a 5mm socket, well, Allen. And after that, you just come around, pull this up. This is a good tip. I keep my screws in there so I don't lose them. You can take them out if you want to. I am missing one right there. I'll just go ahead and replace that whenever. The next step would be removing your air filter. Then we're going to remove these right here. These come in 2 pieces. This is an Allen. I want to say that is a 5mm, as well as this one over here. All right, so you're going to remove that screw right there. You just want to lift up on this, come right out. put that to the side. Then after you unscrew those, you just pull this up, sit it to the side so you don't lose your screws. So like I said, you got those three. Then you want to come over to this side and do the exact same thing. Screw these. Yes, this is a 5mm sock, Allen. Screw those, and you're just gonna lift up on it. As far as orientation goes, just remember that the two big pieces go in the middle. So what I mean by big pieces, you see that the right side is taller than the left side. Okay, the next step is to come around here, and what you want to do is, you see this hose right here, you just want to pull that off. You also have the sensor right here. You just want to squeeze down this tab and pull it back, and it comes another hose right here. You just want to squeeze this down. You can do this with some needle nose pliers or do it with your hand. Then what you're going to do is the same thing you did to that hose. You just want to pull it out. This just goes to show you what an air filter do. This is like when the intake to the air rams, but as I got a whole bug in there, and with the air filter, you know, it blocked it from going in the engine. And if you can see that right there, it's like the piece of the head. But yeah, the head was stuck in the air filter, and this part was just stuck right there. Just held in by like a little rubber piece and over a lip. So you just want to pull that back, kind of just wiggle it off, then you're free. And after that, we have another sensor down here that we want to unloosen, and that would be all our sensors and pieces. As you can see, that piece right there is moving, it'll come right off. Then now you are exposed to your spark plugs. And next step, what we're going to do is the same thing we've been doing. We're going to clip this, we're going to squeeze down and pull that back. We're going to go around, do it to all four of them. You can't really interchange these, but keep in mind which ones go where. You do not want to put the first one on this one or vice versa. But like I said, the way the wiring is, it's kind of hard to mix them up because they go directly right into that area. This right here is not necessarily something you need to do. It's something that you should do. This gets you a piece of paper, like a paper towel or a napkin or something. Just stick it down in there like that. That just protects your throttle bodies and your engine, because you don't want nothing, no contaminants or anything getting in there. And being that we have everything exposed, we don't want to get anything in there. So I'm gonna stick some tissue down there. Quick side note, I just had one that fell out. But there are like these little orange rubber pieces right here that are in the cable that connects to the spark plug. So if it falls out, just put it back on. Just make sure you have them, as you can see. And on this one is right there. There's nothing there, but on the inside is right there. So make sure you just keep up with those. It's not hard to put them back in. They just slip in real quick. All right, so the next step that you want to do, you want to come around and you want to take these boots off, and all you do is wiggle this around and it'll come right up. Make sure there's not no funny colors or anything in it. And what you want to do is set it to the side. They prefer that you keep them in the same order, so this one will go back in that same slot that I took it out of. It's in this one. I'll just put it like that. Just keep.
Just wiggle it around, come right up. Just don't step on anything. Just be careful. So now that exposed the spark plugs.
So now what you want to do is get your extension. I have a 3-inch on here, and I also have a deep 5/8 socket that I'm gonna put down here. So what I like to do is just put it down here first, just to feel it around, make sure it fits. All right, it's down in there. Then I'm gonna come in with my wrench snap it on there, and just start unscrewing. All right, and depending on how tight they are, usually after you break them loose with your wrench, you can come in with your hand, just kind of loosen it. So now you want to come in with your magnet. I mean, you can get it out with your fingers if you can, but the hole is pretty small. Yeah, so with that being said, I got this from the local parts store for maybe $5, if that. This is like a long magnet. It had a light on it, but it don't work. But anyways, you just want to come in, stick it down there, then you'll pull your spark plug up just like that. You just want to repeat the process for all 4 of them. Just set them to the little side by side. Obviously, that is the new one. That's the old one. But as you can see, the old one is kind of all worn out and such. The gap tool, and pretty much like I said, I'm not going to use it. Well, let me take that back. I already checked mine, but I didn't do it on camera. But anyways, what you'll do is you'll slide in from the small side, which is right here, and you just want to roll it around. And as you go up, as you can see, this gets thicker. So if you want to get that and use it, like $2, maybe $3. All right, so the next simple thing that you do is basically we're just going to go ahead and install the spark plugs. What you want to do is make sure this piece with the electrode, make sure it's going down into the bike, and this skinnier piece right here, that will be pointing up into the boot. So all you do is just want to drop that down in there. This doesn't have to be perfect right now because we're going to come in with the socket and tighten them up. So you're going to do that for all 4 of them, all 4 holes, same way. Make sure they're pointing in the correct direction. So now you want to come in and you want to be kind of gentle with this. So we're about to tighten them up, but you do not want to break them. So with that being said, we're going to come in with our hand first. We're just going to come in with our socket, kind of feel the spark plug, and I'm gonna just go ahead and hand tighten them down with for all 4 of them. Like I said, just kind of feel around for it, make sure it's going into the hole correctly, make sure it's not getting cross-threaded or anything. That's why we're doing it with our hand. All right, now that we hand tighten everything, now we're gonna go back through and we're gonna put a socket down in there, and make sure it's clicked to the right side. We're gonna come in. You can torque these down, but these do not have to be that tight because, like I said, you do not want to break them. So you just want to come around, just kind of snug them up a little bit. If I can get my socket on there. Yeah, just kind of snug them up a little bit. You got, even on the box, it explains to you how to tighten them down.
So that's pretty good right there. Moving on to this one.
All right, so the next step is connecting your boots back on. This is where the connector grease come in. It is dielectric grease. So pretty much what it helps with is corrosion. As you can see right there, it prevents corrosion. So what you want to do is you want to put the grease on the inside of this boot right here. This is the part that connects to the top of the spark plug. So I'm gonna just put a little bit right here. As you can see, I just squirted a little bit in there. I barely use any of the pack. Some people don't really think this is necessary. I mean, to each his own. But I feel like you might as well go ahead, because I got this pack for like $2, and it is more than enough for the 4 boots. Anyways, after I put the grease in there, we're just gonna come back in. Remember, this is the first one, so I'm gonna put it right back in the first hole. So come around, and you just kind of wiggle it around, squeeze it down in there. Make sure it's in there good. Then you want to come around with that first connector and just connect it back in there. Make sure that orange piece is somewhere. Make sure it's either in there or inside the boot. You just want to connect it back. As you can tell, this job is really repetitive. So with that being said, what you want to do is for the next 3, do the exact same thing. Push your dielectric grease on the boot. Put your boot down in there. Kind of wiggle around, make sure it's snug. Then you want to come in with that same connector that's supposed to be for it and put it right back on. But just make sure everything's connected just one last time, because I mean, you don't want to necessarily go start your bike and you got to come back because something's not going good. Just make sure all your hoses are up. So now we're going to move on to the airbox. And I'm going to go ahead and connect this connector back here. Just a sensor. Well, with this one right there, I'm going to connect this hose. I'm going to connect that hose with this pipe right here. I'm going to connect that hose back. Connect this hose. Then I'm going to move on to my sensor and connect that back in there as well. The important thing with putting this airbox on is that you make sure that it is seated correctly. If you can tell right there, is little ridges where the airbox is supposed to sit in. So just make sure that it sits good. And once you know it's in there good, as you can see, the airbox is not moving. So that's how you know it is seated correctly. And you see all the screw holes line up. Well, the next step is to add these back in there. Like I said earlier, the big one goes in the middle. So you just can kind of line that up. You can go ahead and grab the other one. When you get to the bottom, you'll know, because it absolutely will not go no more. And that's when you know to stop. Do not try to force it. And we're
going to do the same thing for this one. And we're going to repeat the process for the last 2 over here, for this one and this one.
We're going to move on to installing the new air filter. So as you can see, this is the old one, but this is also the OEM Suzuki one as well. You can see the S. So with these type, if you're putting the new one back in, what you want to do is where it says up, you just want to make sure that's pointing up to you. Then you're just going to push that down in there into the grooves. And that's how you change that one. But for me, I have the K&N. So with that being said, it's a little bit different needed. So with the K&N, as you can see, it's a big size difference compared to the height. So basically you put those grooves inside the grooves in here. So it's going to be sitting up like this. And you just want to push that down in there. And then I would recommend getting the K&N. And I say that because of the fact that you can reuse these. And what I mean by that is that they are washable. So you can rinse these off, let it dry, and put it right back in here if it ever gets dirty. Versus one like this, you just have to throw it away. And also, these are supposed to be better. They're considered high performance. Like I said, you just want to push this down. It is supposed to be a screw in here. So if you have a screw, make sure you put that in. But I am missing one, but it will be fine because, like I said, it sits in the groove. So the next step is to put the airbox top back on. And let's get right into that. I'm going to put this top back on. And what we're going to do is make sure it's lined up. And it should fall right in place. And you want to get your Phillips head and tighten it up. They do not need to be that tight, because keep in mind, this is going into plastic. You are done with this process. It's not really hard at all. Just a lot of people tend to overlook it. Just make sure that all your screws are good. Make sure that your connectors are in there. Make sure your hoses are all pushing how it's supposed to be. As far as putting your gas tank back on, it's the same process as when you took it off. Make sure you have the bracket in how it's supposed to be. Like I said, I don't have my gas tank on here right now. If you took it off, you may even prop it up, but said your gas tank is going to fall forward. Put the top pieces back in, the screws that go right here, put those back in there, tighten them down. And you want to come in and carefully put the black piece that goes right here with the 1000. Carefully put those grommet pieces in there. The pins that go in here, carefully put those in there. And you want to work your fairing piece right here. Make sure it goes in that tab. Then after that, all that is in place, then you can come in with your screwdriver and tighten it down. And it is the exact same process on the other side of the bike. With that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I have some more stuff coming. Y'all just stay tuned, man. Just stay tuned. I'm waiting on my stuff to come out the shop right now. I dropped it off maybe about a week or two ago. But with that being said, it should be coming in soon. But I'll keep y'all posted. Thank y'all for watching.